So guys, Gingerman Cards here. Hope you're all super well. Marvel card collecting and investing. Today I am joined by Sam from Blacklabelslabs. And to just give you a bit of context before Sam introduces himself, Sam reached out to me I actually wrote down the actual date because I'm sad. 29th of June. So
Not too long ago.
now. Yeah, almost a month ago, about some PMG cards. So yeah, that's how our conversation started. And I was like, man, Sam, you got to come on because you're going to be great fun and to tell your
Nick.
story. So yeah,
Nick,
tell your story, my friend.
No, thank you for having me, Nick. I reached out to you because on YouTube you're really knowledgeable. Not only that, you did all my work of searching the pop reports. And no, I reached out to you just because you know what you're talking about, and thank you for having me on your show. I love the content.
Not yet.
My story is I'm just to be honest, I'm just a huge nerd. I collect everything from video games to comics to cards to sports cards and Marvel. I was telling you before we went live that I literally, once every Marvel show drops on Disney, I'm there 12 o'clock waiting to watch the new episodes. So first off, I'm a huge sports card collector, and I help a lot of Canada grade their cards to PSA and Beckett. And when I'm thinking about my next play, so I always go on 3-month benders. Like I'll have a play in my head and I'll go on a 3-month bender where like, okay, every eBay auction, I'm just going to try to attack it.
Yeah.
And one day I was just watching movies, and what's great about Marvel is that it's so new that you can take things from the sports card hobby and just implement it into Marvel. And what's great about Marvel is that they literally give you a schedule for the next decade. So it's a lot of people just don't want to think ahead, but they're giving you the whole schedule. For example, like She-Hulk is coming to the MCU, and when I learned WandaVision was coming out, like if you just go pick up a WandaVision first appearance episode or Wanda, like as soon as the series drops, it just bumps up 30%. And
We've seen it.
And so you can do that with literally every Marvel movie that comes out. Same with Black Widow. I'm sure if you look at the PMGs for Black Widow, like before, like 6 months ago, everybody knew that Black Widow was going to be the next movie out. And then as soon as it comes out, people like it, and then it's an easy pickup.
Yeah.
So in October of 2020, October of last year, I just thought to myself, okay, Marvel's gonna, once the world comes back, because eventually the world will come back.
Yeah.
And you just start to think like when Endgame was in the movie theaters, that was literally the biggest movie of all time.
Yeah.
And so I thought to myself, once the world comes back, like Marvel movies, it's going to start coming back. So I thought to myself, okay, Marvel cards. And then I know because of sports cards that the Michael Jordan Precious Metal Gems was literally the holy grail of all the sports cards.
Yeah.
So when I saw that Marvel had Precious Metal Gems, it was an easy transition for me. I was like, okay, like if any of the sports guys cross over to Marvel cards, they're going to look at that and be like, it's serial numbered, they're rare, they're hard to find, and they know it. They know the brand, they know it. And so my 3-month bender started hammering Precious Metal Gems, and I was very fortunate enough to find a guy. He was a farmer in Idaho, and he had I got to find his name. It's buried under emails, but he probably sold me about 120 Precious Metal Gems of all years. He sent me a list. He said he was cropping corn or something, and he gave me.
He's just got some PMGs in his truck, like.
Brother, I was blown away. Like I went from searching every eBay auction, just scooping them one by one, and then I found this guy, and he's like, Yeah, I got a whole bunch, and he showed me a picture and a list of all of them, and then I just said, "Give me a price," and I think for 120 of them, I think I bought them all for like 15 or 1600 American or something, and it was so because I just got really lucky, Nick. When people ask me like how did you pick this? It's literally just a blind squirrel finding a nut sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. But
It's
you say that, but you've thought. So I mentioned this in my videos quite a bit. It's like the crossover from the sports card world.
mhm.
You say you've like found you got lucky, but you thought, okay, what's going to work well in the Marvel world that the sports card world already knows. So I don't think you could. You should need to give yourself a little bit of credit, as I said when we were messaging. I do
No,
because
I
you
can't
spotted it.
I can't. I so what I did know and what I can give myself credit for is that because I help a lot of people grade at PSA,
Yeah,
I saw all the pop reports and I was like, okay,
yeah,
wicked. Like if I get these graded and it actually pans out, then I will literally be the market if I get them graded now. And what I am happy I did is I'm happy I had the foresight to know. Well, it's not really foresight, but um, everybody knows that the MCU Avengers, like those are the goats of
yeah.
so like Iron Man, Spider Man, Thor, Black Widow. Well, Black Widow not so much, but Hulk. Those guys are big sellers. Deadpool. So I made at that time the cards were going for PMGs were going for a Spider-Man was blue was going for 2017 was going for about $40-$50, and I was paying $75 to express them. So it was at that time it was a gamble for me, but because PSA their bulk submissions they can literally take over a year.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have the Spider-Man ready for December of this
Okay.
year because the multiverse of madness is coming. Sorry, the
No way home. Yeah.
Spider-Man 3 No Way Home's coming out.
So
And
you thought okay, you're looking at this from a flip opportunity. Like, is that what you're
it's
thinking?
it's always what I want next, and what
Okay,
I want
fine.
next is
So you're
because
leveling up to
because
something.
yes, it's so I can be transparent, and I want to split these Marvel cards into
Yeah.
Spider-Man Amazing Fantasy 15, which is like Spider-Man number one,
Wow.
and
Okay.
because at the time it's just a pipe dream, right? Like it literally went from like you know what I actually wanted to flip this for was I think in 2018 they Topps came out with Marvel cards that if you collected every gem, you get Thanos Infinity Gauntlet, like a
Yeah.
special relic gauntlet,
Yeah.
and that is considered the holy grail, like of Marvel. I did a big deep dive on that. That's what I wanted. Somebody was selling it for I think 1,500 on PWCC at the time. I made multiple offers, lowball offers, obviously.
Still an offer.
It's because nobody knows. That's what the best and worst thing about Marvel collecting cards
Yeah.
is that nobody knows the real value because it's there's literally no pop report on it. Like I was telling you earlier, that Black Panther that sold on PWCC, the blue for 5,600. If that's a pop three and one of them goes to a collector and it's off the market, what can the next two people, if they decide to sell, what can they ask for it? You don't really know because
Yeah.
there's only two. Nobody knows where they are, and if they do sell, obviously they can probably ask for more than 5,600 because of the scarcity.
Hmm.
And then so going back to what I was saying about that Thanos thing, I just had no idea what that card was worth. But so yeah, that was what my original plan with my PMGs were. But that's out the window. I keep searching for that Thanos card. Somebody tell me if they ever find it because I want it.
People squirrel stuff away now, man. Like, yeah, I was speaking to some of the OGs, like in the Marvel world, been in it years. Once they grab it, you ain't seeing it for a long time unless you buy
I
a whole
know
collection, etc.
there's actually one collector who we talk a lot, but it's always the same thing. It's he has a price in his mind and I have a price in my mind.
Yeah,
And there's no,
don't
we
match.
can't draw any eBay comparisons to it. So it's
Yeah,
I think I was offered 2,200 for, I had one of those blue Spider-Mans. I sold it on eBay about a month and a half ago for 2,500, and another one just sold for 46. So that's at that time I bought it for $50 and I sold it for 2,500 to a seller, to a buyer in Australia,
yeah,
and I was amped. And I'm still happy because when you're in this card game long enough, if you think about like profits you would have lost or cards that gone up after you sell it, you're just going to lose sleep, and you don't want to lose sleep over pieces of cardboard cartoons and man.
no, it sounds ridiculous, but yeah, no, you're absolutely right, 100%.
But yeah, it's so another reason why I got into Marvel PMGs is because like I saw the prices of, so Tracy McGrady was like a superstar basketball player. When I was a kid, I wore his shoes exclusively playing basketball. And he had a PMG green that around October when I was buying Marvel PMGs, it sold for 22,000 American. And in my mind, I was just like, man, during Halloween, I see people dress up as Iron Man. I see people dress up as Spider-Man. I've never seen anybody dress up as Tracy McGrady, and he's commanding 22,000 American. I'm like, I just think you cannot tell me that there are more Tracy McGrady fans than Spider-Man fans or Black Panther fans. So I just thought the potential, and I'm one of those guys too. If I lose $1,000, like it's that's life, man. It happens. You take a shot. Sometimes you miss. Just lucky blind squirrel found a nut.
So, like so the first, like, when you messaged me, you were like, "Man, I don't know what to do."
Yes, yes.
So basically, do you want to explain your whole kind of
The
bronze
bronze
PMG?
PMG.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's a
So
good start.
okay, so during my 3 month spending bender,
When was this
there
again?
was
Sorry, October last year.
October of last year.
Fine, okay.
So I had found a person who was selling a complete set of 2017 bronze PMG. So those are numbered out of 199.
Yep.
And I thought to myself, just like, well, man, $200, I can get them graded, and then they're all pop one, so it'll be a 1-on-1 set. The owner of PSA, his name's Nat Turner, or sorry, the CEO of PSA and Collectors Universe, his name's Nat Turner. He's been known in the hobby to be a precious metal gems collector. He's been trying to collect, to finish a basketball PMG set for, I believe, over a decade.
Wow.
So that's how rare PMGs are all across sports and cards in general. So I thought to myself, I'm like, if I get it graded, this could literally be the only graded precious metal gems complete set out there. And what I'm finding difficult now is that just trying to gauge the value. So, for example, that blue Spider-Man 2017 out of 50 sold for 4,600. Is that worth more than a complete bronze set out of 199? Like it's an honest question, Nick. Do you think that's worth more than the blue?
It's a very difficult one. Like the character is a big factor
For
with
sure.
Marvel cards, as you've already seen. So,
but they got Iron Man, they got Wolverine, they got 2 Spider-Mans.
Bronze is a difficult one. I mean, it's still like you can, and the thing is, it's still very low numbered. cards, like at 199, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And you think, Christ, that's really low. So yeah, I think a whole set of bronze is far more than that, personally.
So that's
Um,
that's when I reached out to Nick, because I was like, Nick, I have no idea what to value this at. I actually reached out to the reason I reached out to you is because in your videos, when you see a graded 8 card, right? You're like, that's a phenomenal grade for PMG.
Correct.
And yeah, and I love how you say that, because it is PMGs. They're very sensitive, condition sensitive.
Yeah, like
And when
I look at this, looks
yeah,
great, and then some of
yeah,
like the surface on, you won't be able to see it.
it
Screwed.
comes out of the pack chip. It
Yeah.
comes out of the pack chip. So 10s are impossible. Sorry, I'm just gonna show. So
Go on, here we go.
I graded a bunch. I graded a bunch, and this is the only 10 I have. Sorry, let me get it on camera.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
So
though. Deadpool, beautiful.
yeah, I mean, it's one of the big guys. Although he's not an original Avenger, I just think there's the fan base for Ryan Reynolds and
Oh, hugely.
Deadpool.
Massive
So
character.
I'm happy. But sorry, going back. Yeah, when you on all your shows, when you say like 8's a phenomenal grade, 9's even better, 10's almost non-existent. So when I reached out to Golden Auctions to try to see if they wanted to sell my complete set of PMGs bronze, they told me, I told them I need at least a minimum bid of $5,000, and they told me they could do one. And in my mind, it's worth more than 1,000. I like, if I had lost it for 1,000, that wouldn't even be grading fees.
No.
So in my mind, I'm like, I've had that. There are a few cards I've sent to them before where unless it's super grail cards at Golden Auctions, the normal stuff doesn't really sell as well as it would on PWCC. So in my mind, I told them, I'm like, I cannot do it. I want to do it with you guys because you guys bring in huge numbers, but I cannot do it. I would lose sleep if I lost the complete PMG set for $1,000, just because I'm into it for about that or more than that with grading. I believe it's the only one in the world. It's the only like precious metal gems Marvel in the world complete for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So
and
it's just.
And I'll just make a point. I don't think at this point, looking at everything I've seen, I don't think we'll see a complete set of reds, blues, greens. I don't think it will happen. You've got character collectors who ain't letting go. You've got OG Marvel guys who ain't letting go. You know, there are some more guys like you know, who know Sports Card World and things like that, but I don't think it will happen.
So Nick,
the Reds maybe.
If you interview me in 2 more months,
wait, not like a green or something ridiculous.
Oh no, brother. It's a red 2015. It's a red 2015. Okay. I have complete. I already have the big guys pre-graded, like I said, like the Black Panther and Deadpool and stuff. But yeah, it's the rest of them are just sitting in PSA in an office somewhere.
Really?
That's another reason why I wanted to grade them all super quick, is because they actually I shouldn't even say anything. Oh no, I will, because
exclusive.
It's because it's because PSA, they upcharge based on value of eBay sales, correct? So like at the time when I graded my Spider-Mans and stuff, there were no real sales, so they didn't upcharge me anything. But as these $35,000 green 2013 Spider-Mans go for $35,000, it's eventually they're going to be like, okay, these cards are real big cards. And so yeah, I'm just hoping I don't get hit with an extra few thousand upcharge bill from PSA.
That's insane.
Okay, here's another question, Nick, and I want the viewers and you to help me.
Sure. 6 people watching, so let's do it.
Okay, so guys, there was a 2017 Iron Man blue that just sold on PWCC for around $5,000.
Yeah.
What would this guy go for?
So 2017 Iron Man PMG PSA 8. Numbered out of what? 5. Shit. I forgot about those ones.
Yeah, it's. I want to send this to Golden, but I just don't. I'm just fearful. It's so in the sports card world, they have serial numbered cards as well, and it's almost like a multiplier. So if it's numbered out of 100, that's how I thought about it too when I was buying them.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that Iron Man Blue would go as high as possible, because if you think about it in terms of a multiplier, the green 22K, Black Caddy 22K, I'd be ecstatic for 22K. And then can I tell a quick story about the purple PMGs, Nick?
Go on.
So my childhood best friend, his name's Tony. Tony, at around the same time last October, he had messaged, because he's really into stocks, and he's like, Sammy, we gotta invest in UPS. And I don't know anything about stocks. So
okay.
He said he did his homework. He's literally my best friend from when I was 4. So I said, okay, I will put $5,000 into UPS. So he told me to do a call option, which I guess it has to hit that number, or otherwise you go bust.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks later, I was just like, Tony, like, what happened to UPS? Like, Sam, we lost it all. I'm just like, oh no, like what? Like, what do you mean? I just thought stocks was like if it goes up a few dollars and you still have it at that price, and then it could go up, and then so that's what I was thinking. I didn't know you could go hard and gamble like that.
Oh, God.
But anyways, we lost it all, and then I said, Tony, like, because I put faith in you on a pick, can you put faith in me on a pick? And then he's like, what do you want me to buy? And I was like, can you spend $300 and buy the Spider-Man 2017 purple out of 5? So for 2 weeks, I'm on eBay because I'm watching this card like a hawk, because I want it. And then for 2 weeks, I messaged him like, Tony, you gotta buy this card. You gotta buy this card. And then literally after 2 weeks, I said, Tony, you have 8 hours to buy this card, or I'm buying it.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, Sammy, you trust me with UPS, I'll trust you with this stupid Marvel card. Like he has I understand the general public, like, to spend $300 on a piece of cardboard of like a Spider-Man, especially as adults, like I can understand why he thought, man, I'm not spending this money on a piece of cardboard. But he bought it. I helped him grade it, and we watched the blue at PWCC together. And he's like, Sammy, the blue one landed at 4,600. I was like, brother, I think yours has got to go for at least 15. Yeah, Marvel Universe Spider-Man Pop 10 2 goes for about 900. Now the Pop 7 goes for 420 touchy. Yeah, Black Caddy, you know what you're talking about, brother.
Yes, you do.
Yes, that is another thing. It's so difficult to say. You almost have to, I think, as more people start cluing in on Marvel cards and the scarcity and how cool it is, and how when the Marvel movies come back, I think that's going to bring a lot more people to the hobby, to the Marvel card hobby specifically. But on the flip side, as people start seeing that kind of money, you're going to see the pop reports go up.
Yeah.
And
100%.
So, but
what I would say is the same thing will happen with the 90 MU. So I've seen this happen time and time again. It will trickle down. So now that's 900. Pop 7 right now. Come 3-4 months, it'll be the same story as 90 MU. Like, it's the same thing.
I understand the Marvel Universe set, but I don't know. It's just I understand it's the first one, it's the inaugural one, and it's obviously worth the most, but or the most sought after, the most iconic. But I don't know. It's just like the super rare cards, and I think the EXs are super nice, and also John Belias. I love John Belias. I was on the cusp of either going all John Belias or all precious metal gems. I chose Precious Metal Gems, but
not a bad decision.
I think but I think it's debatable if I had gone all Jumble Eyes, whether or not it would have worked out in the end. So
Sketch Card Hive is in the house. So this guy is let's say
Sketch Card Hive.
Like Norin is in the middle of everything. He's the main man.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've seen this stuff. His stuff is unbelievable.
Yeah. So he's the one and only.
So the Marvel market is very exciting. It's just I don't know who can tell you the real price of things. I guess it's just whatever the collector wants to pay. And there are some big whales out there. I'm not one of them, but I gotta find these big whales.
So what are your thoughts then currently? Like, are you gonna hold? Like, I'm not being funny. If I was you, I wouldn't even touch these cards for the next 5 years. But that's
really
my personal preference. Yeah, I just wouldn't. So yeah, what are you thinking? Because I know we talked about a few things.
Mm-hmm. Get the hell. So what are my thoughts for this? So I think with the rarity, I think it's going to get bigger. And I think, so my plan was always wait until Spider-Man 3 comes out, because I don't think people understand that movie will be the biggest movie, assuming there's no fifth COVID variant.
Yeah, you said this before. Why do you think that is the big movie?
I think it will. I think there are a lot of factors. So they're bringing back everybody from all Spider-Man franchises. So Tobey Maguire is going to be in it, Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, Jamie Foxx. They're bringing back all the villains. They're bringing back, or that's the rumor, but the rumor's true. Sorry, that's how big of a nerd I am.
Love it.
So they're bringing back everybody, just with the timing as well with COVID. It seems like in December things could be better. So I just think everybody's gonna flock to see that movie. I think they're gonna introduce Spidey to Fast 4, to F4. So I just think, so the plan with my PMGs was always wait until that hype comes around, because they'll do like Black Widow and the shows before that, but I think that one is going to be the real banger. And I think whatever the record was for Endgame, I think it's going to come very, very close to breaking it.
Really? That's interesting.
It's Spider-Man. Did you know that 50% of people under the age of 18 consider Spider-Man Miles Morales?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, because they're even rumored to bring Miles Morales into that movie, and I think if Miles Morales goes in, that's insane. So that's why I specifically chose that card for my buddy Tony. It's because I'm like, bro, like people don't know this yet, but like Miles Morales and Into the Spider-Verse.
I love this. So this is what I've been thinking for, and unfortunately I don't have the funds to do many of what I want to do, but I thought this like come January, I was like, right, this is what's happening. Venom's going to come out. This is going to come out. This is going to come out. Like you see it in the sports card world all the time, and I keep saying the same thing in my videos, but you can see the patterns. All it is trends. Pattern.
It absolutely is. So for basketball, for example, there you get right before the season, you get a slight bump.
Yep.
Right before All-Stars announcements, you see a slight bump. Right before they announce the Hall of Fame for this year's class, you see a slight bump, and right before playoffs, you see a slight bump.
Yeah.
And if you take the same concept into Marvel, they tell you the schedule of everything. Like, I'm actually investing in. So I really like Kate Bishop, who is the next Black Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And I really like the new She-Hulk, because she's going to get her own show. The actress is a dime, and and Kate Bishop. Who else? Young Avengers, I really like. So if you guys are comic book collectors, I would go after Young Avengers 1 because they're rumored to have a Young Avengers series or a movie. And Nova is also another play that I've been going pretty hard on because if you watch any Marvel, Nova is Richard Rider, who is a high school student, and I just think he's going to play very well with Spider-Man because in the anime shows and stuff, the cartoon shows, they do. So I just see a world where two kids on Halloween, or one's going to be a Nova and one's going to be a so when I look at cards, especially professional, his prices are actually super cheap. So are the X-Men. Like sometimes I see PMGs like Storm or Cyclops, they get no love.
Nope.
And Cyclops is, man, before MCU,
underrated,
like
massively.
Oh man, like Storm, if they're rumored to have Rihanna play Storm, if Rihanna or Beyonce plays Storm,
I melted everybody. Was it Halle Berry? Something like that.
Halle Berry. Oh yeah.
I was like, Jesus.
they might even bring. Who knows? It like because of the multiverse opening up, they might even bring Halle Berry back as a Storm. Like, I just think those X-Men characters, those are the guys you should be attacking. Like, you just got to think about in the future, like what other movies could they do? Who could be the villains? So yeah, another stupid purchase I made was Secret Wars, is because sorry if I'm getting off topic. Like I'm going on
carry on,
comic books now.
I love it.
So Secret Wars, when Endgame happened, I looked at there was a sale for Avengers #1 comic book for like $40,000.
Yeah, I saw that.
And for 40,000 American, I was like, okay. I'm like, what will be the next Endgame event? Like, what are they? Storm is coming in the next. Yes, it's rumored. Sketch Hive. Yeah, you know your stuff. I know you know your
as well. Namor
as well. Yep.
I'm big on that.
See, there you go. Nobody knows Namor. Imagine there's that Precious Metal Gems card where it's Black Panther and Namor. What year is that? It's like turquoise or green colors. That could be a gigantic card. Like depending on the actor and how Namor is perceived, like it like almost like Killmonger. Like there's a cult following for Michael B. Jordan and Killmonger. So like if they can do that with Namor, then that card could be gigantic.
100%.
Serena Williams.
Again, I would watch that with I'd watch that. That's what I'm gonna say.
Why would Storm be a Black Panther when he's dead? Yeah, that's true. MK Dub, that's true. There's supposed to be a love interest, but Storm is coming though, whether it be in Black Panther or not. Storm is coming. The X-Men's coming. But back to my nerdy comic book story. So when the Avengers 1 and Endgame, where that sold for $40,000, I was like, okay, I got to think about what the next big event is. And around the same time, Fox had announced that they sold to MCU the rights to the Fantastic Four, which, oh man, that's another gigantic. Guys, go after Doctor Doom, Sue Storm.
Underrated.
Yeah,
Dr. Octopus underrated.
Dr. Octopus is underrated. But if the MCU and Kevin Feige can do Doctor Doom properly, Doctor Doom could be the best villain. Dude, he is unbelievably smart. His powers are insane.
Big supervillain.
Huge supervillain. So anyways, once they got the rights to the Fantastic Four and X-Men, I started thinking, okay, like what storyline had all of them? And I believe in '86, they had a 12-issue comic of Secret Wars where all of them came to fight Galactus. And I thought to myself, okay, now I got to try to get all 12 signed by Stan Lee, because Stan Lee's gone, and this is a 10-year play. If it happens, if Secret Wars happens, I'm stoked. But that's how I try to do all my plays, just trying to think before it happens. And that's what I tried to do with my next plays, which I'm telling you are going to be like Nova and the X-Men guys. Because if you compare, to me growing up, like Cyclops was probably bigger than Hulk to me, or absolutely bigger than Thor. Like Thor was like in the back of my mind and growing up. I never watched, like, the only Thor thing that came out when I was a kid was that when he fought the Hulk in that movie in like the late 80s. So Thor was never in my mind. But all the X-Men were, like, Cyclops was, Colossus was a bigger character to me than Thor was, but look at Thor now, right? Same with Black Panther. I had no idea. Like, he appeared in a couple of episodes in the 90s, but
so you're looking at much like me, and it's changing a little bit. You're looking at everything from more of an investment standpoint, right? Like more of a flip. Like, is there a character or some cards that you will simply just not budge with? Like, have you got that?
Yeah, it's a Pokemon card.
Is it? No way. Oh my god! Right, keep talking. I'm just gonna. Yeah, go on.
Okay. No worries, brother. Go on. So, it's just, it all comes down to nostalgia. It all comes down to happy times when you're a kid.
Yes.
Like, it all comes down to stuff where, like, yes, I put money into it, hoping it will grow someday.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things where, like, if it goes to zero, it still brings me good memories of when I was a kid. And the reason why I won't budge with, like, so what it is the first edition Mewtwo. So as a kid, as an 8-year-old, I used to walk to the local 7-Eleven, spend literally all my money, not on candy, but on a pack of, like, Pokemon cards, right?
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
34. So
I
was a 90s baby, and I was a Pokemon master at 7 years old, for sure. I was a Pokemon master. I got all 151.
So good.
So that it's all about nostalgia. So when I bought the Mewtwo, I pulled that card, a first edition card, and that was like my first hologram that I ripped out of a pack. And I remember my very first. So Christian Bale as Gore. Yep, Christian Godbon. Yep, dude, Christian Bale. Yeah, exactly. Guys, Gore is not a bad pick. Sorry to go off topic, but Shwami, buying anything Gore could be a good pick.
It's not a bad shot.
Sorry. So Mewtwo, I went to a card show when I was, I believe 8 or 9, and like, I had brought my Mewtwo with me, and this older gentleman was like, "I'll give you $90 for that card." And at the time, I was like, "Yeah, like $90." And my dad had taken me to the show, and like when I told him, like, "Dad, like I just sold this card for $90." I remember his face, like, because especially Asian parents where they have none of this stuff. Like the concept of like cards for money never clicked into their heads. When I saw my dad, it's just like, somebody paid you $90 for this card. Like, his face is almost like, whoa. Like, so that's why those cards, I don't care what the price is. I don't look at the price. Those ones I'm keeping. Nice. Call them a coffin card, taking them to the grave with me.
Are they graded or are they?
They're graded, yeah. But I got first edition ones, but they're all in different, because my investor side still comes in. So I thought all the non-English cards were better value.
Yep.
Because
Japanese,
in my mind at the time, let's just say an English version went for 4,000 and the Portuguese version went for like 400 of the same grade. I just thought to myself, like, well, Pokemon's so big around the world, there might be a Portuguese person that is their nostalgic card.
Yeah.
So and it's still, the picture's the same, and it still gives me the same feelings. But those prices have tanked, and I don't lose any sleep over it because when I look at it, I'm still happy.
Yeah, 100%. Like long term, massively.
But
So
I
I'm
collect.
just gonna
Sorry
show
to.
you something, just
Yeah, go
quickly.
ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So I got this massive box of
Nice.
Pokemon cards. I got it sent to me
Yeah.
actually from a guy who listens to some of my episodes called Retroverse UK. So yeah, they're for my little boy, and he's gone through all 500 cards today, Pokemon
Sweet.
cards. So yeah, appreciate that Retroverse. But yeah, had some great fun.
That's awesome,
Nostalgia
man.
through the roof.
Especially for the kids these days.
Oh,
It's so hard for
crazy.
for kids to get into the collecting
Yeah,
these days.
20
Just
quid a
because,
pack
man,
or something. Yeah.
you go into any supermarket where they sell cards, you literally can't find any cards for the kids. So yeah, last week we were supposed to do this interview, but I was hosting a card show in
Oh
Vancouver,
wow.
and yeah, it was crazy. It was awesome, but it was all about the kids, like just trying to get them into the hobby, giving them
Yeah.
free stuff, free cards, just because man, they are our future collectors.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you got any thoughts on that? Like, because I kind of see cards like Pokemon cards has always been a thing, but like the teenagers now are like sneaker flippers and
mhm.
you know what I mean? Like the little side hustles that they can do at school, things like that. I do think that in the future, sports cards or Marvel cards, any kind of Pokemon cards as well, especially, have that kind of place in like in the younger crowd. Do you agree with that? Have you seen that?
I think so. I have a nephew who is really into it, and I remember for his birthday, because I knew how popular Pokemon was,
Yeah.
but I did not know. I knew how popular it was for me when I was a kid. I did not know it was still going
Yeah.
until for his birthday, he's like, Uncle Sam, could you get me a box of or Pokemon cards? So I went into the hobby shop and I bought him a sealed box, right? And then when he was opening the presents, all his friends were gathered around him, and he opened it, and it was like the kids were like, "It's a sealed box." And then one kid's comment was, "That's not fair," and that comment made me realize, like, man, like that's not fair. Like almost like he was jealous. It's an entire
Yeah.
box, right? Like so yeah, I think it's the hobby's healthy for the next generation. What I don't think is healthy is that they don't get the excitement of like they. It's so hard for them to get that excitement of going to a store freely
Yeah.
to spend some of the lunch money. Like they won't. Very few of them will have that story about Mewtwo. Like very few people have picked Mewtwo as their like nostalgic card, right? But like that's the only reason that happens because of my stories, because I paid for it, I opened it, and I sold it. But like, how many times can kids these days just openly go find a pack of cards? It's like the flippers pay off the people that work at Walmart, and then they get the
Yeah.
entire loot, and then they sell it for double, triple the
That's the
price,
thing.
and then
There's
I
not a
mean,
chance for it.
no, I don't hate on it. I mean, it takes work to do that, but yeah, it's just the kids. I just think it's our responsibility as people that have been in the hobby and that are in the hobby to just help out with the kids. Just
Share the love. Yeah.
let them have a go at it sometimes.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
you never know, you could give them a card and yeah, it could change their life. It really could if they
Yeah.
hold it, save it. It turns out to be an incredible card in the future, because you just never know with any card.
No, you
Yeah,
don't.
you really don't.
So is there, we've talked about PMGs, like you've clearly got a lot. I'd love to know how many, but you
PSA,
don't have to disclose that.
PSA has a lot. Well, I have the complete. Oh, I can tell you, I have the complete. So I have the complete bronze, complete 2015 red, but it's at PSA, and then it's it's honestly, I will have to look at all my emails of eBay during that time
Yeah,
frame,
yeah.
because it's just one for me. It's just one play after the other. It's whatever within the 3 months, something will click into my head. Like right now, I'm on a silver buying bender. Like,
Okay.
Nick, if you have the opportunity, go buy a little bit of silver, my man. I don't know how I come up with these. It's so during that 3 months, I'll be on all PMGs, all Marvel. Every night, I'll watch your YouTube videos, or
Appreciate
let's
it.
talk about some let's talk about some other YouTube videos that are really great for Marvel. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever heard of it used to be called Northeast Ohio Sports Cards, but they're now Neo Cards.
Yeah. He's done really well.
He's done really well, and he was one of the sports card investor. I don't know if you know sports card investor. His name's Jeff Wilson, but when he started Northeast Ohio, he was one of the original maybe like 100 guys, and I was in there too. So we talked a lot, but I'd not really known him until he started his YouTube channel. But he is great for Marvel. All his plays with anything, like whether
because he's into
Marvel,
comics now too, isn't he?
Into comics, into Marvel, into cards. If you guys want great content, I think you should go check him out. Stacking Gems, I just all go over his cards on Instagram, because he went on after all the jambalayas that I wanted, but he also has an insane collection of precious metal gems. Also, there's Dustin, Personal Finance Dad. He's also dabbles in everything, but he is really great for the Marvel hobby as well, because he loves everything. He's almost just like me, where it's just I'm just a collector of nostalgic stuff, and I like to do my homework whenever I get into these buying benders, and then just pray it works out.
Couple of questions on like you said you sent like a complete set of reds. So I think set collecting in PSA is going to be big. Like it doesn't have to be PSA, but what's your thoughts on sets in Marvel cards being graded? Like, and like why PSA as well? That's my second question.
Okay, so I personally like Beckett slabs more, just because they're thicker. So I'm a clumsy dude. So if I step on a card, I'd feel much safer that the card would be safe if it's in a Beckett slab. But PSA, they're just taking over the whole collecting game. Like they just bought out WADA, which is a card. They just bought out WADA, which is a video game grading company. They just bought out Golden Auctions. So if they keep on this pace and they just take over the whole game, like it's for me, it's like if they buy, let's just say they buy out PWCC, what's to stop them from saying like, okay, guys, we're only accepting PSA? Would I have to get everything regraded? It also demands the most in the market.
Currently, so where do you see that? Because obviously PSA is a bit of a funny moment, but where do you see that in the next few years, like in your opinion?
So I really like. So I think CSG, which they're new to the game, but they're CGC, which they've been around forever. So CSG, Beckett, PSA, and I'm even going to throw in SGC in there. I believe those four companies will stick. Everything else, man, good. Like, trust me, the HGA or whatever, I really like the looks of their slabs.
Yeah, they look great.
But yeah, they look phenomenal, and all the other ones, they do a great job too. But when consignment places like PWCC, who are pulling these big Marvel numbers, and Golden, they're pulling these big Marvel numbers. When they say in their submission form, we will treat anything other than those four graded companies as raw cards, then I can't if they treat every other grading company as a raw card, then I mean, I'm just gonna go with those 4 companies. Yes, it will take longer. Yes, it'll take longer, and yes, they're more expensive. But they just hold value, and you can be very confident in it. And also, sorry to get off topic. It's not really off topic, but those companies have dealt with scandals, like where people have forged cards, or they have forged signatures, or they have forged altering of cards. So they know, like they've seen and done that. Like, I am not confident in these other smaller grading companies that if a scandal like that happens, it could literally fold the whole company. I don't know if it'd fold the whole company, but it definitely lose a lot of its reputation. Like, if you found out like there was PMG purple that was fake, because eventually, if the cards are worth enough money, people are going to try to fake it.
Yeah.
And if like one of these grading companies gets caught authenticating a card that is graded, then good luck getting people to send those cards to them again, right? So that's why I chose PSA, and I just think they're just taking over the whole collectibles game.
Yeah. Okay. Great answer. I would completely agree with that whole thing. So favorite movie, because we talked about movies a little bit before. I hope you don't mind again. But
Does it have to be Marvel?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'll give my favorite Marvel, and So yes, I got a lot, man. Dumb and Dumber is like my classic go-to comedy movie.
Fine. Favorite Marvel, favorite other.
Okay. Marvel. Man, favorite Marvel movie. I really, really like Civil War.
Yeah.
I find myself going back to I don't know why either. Captain America's first movie, even no, like it. I think it's pretty bad, but I don't know why when at night, like I go back to it. I'm one of those people that need background noise to fall asleep.
Yeah.
So like I don't know why I always choose
Captain
America's. It's maybe because like in the beginning there's not much action, because like if I'm trying to go to sleep, like I don't want to hear like gunshots and like bang 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 bang. But like I don't know, it's just what other, man, I watch them all the time. I can tell you my least favorite is probably Captain Marvel. I've watched that once and only once.
Yeah, disappointing.
But I watched them all over and over again. But either Civil War or Endgame is actually I watch a ton.
It's a beast, isn't it? Beast.
They're just so well done.
Yeah, love it. Oh, have you got questions for me? I'm worried now.
No. But I did have a list of stuff I wanted, like if we had the chance to talk about, but we hit pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So it's all questions you have for me, my friend.
Yeah, the last one, if you don't mind, and the 6 people left. So we've talked about it a little bit already, but your thoughts on Marvel cards in the next 3 to 5 years, I'd like to know.
It's just gonna grow. It has to grow. I think it all just depends on the pop report, and that it's not even just the Marvel market; it's the whole hobby.
Yeah.
Because I think I mentioned earlier that I help a lot of Canadians submit to PSA. There was, from the time I started helping people to the time that they shut down, I think they went up 200,000 submissions. And if the number is mind-boggling, if you think so, 200,000 submissions. Let's just say there are 50 cards in a submission. Like, that's 10 million cards. If there's 25 cards in the submission, that's 5 million cards. Like, how many of those are Marvel? I bet a lot of I think the MU set is gonna, I think a lot of people rush to send those in.
Oh yeah, including me.
Yeah, No, but they're still gonna have value,
Yeah, yeah,
but it's just gonna be like how many of them. So obviously the grades are gonna count. I think the PSA 10s, because they're such hard grades, those are gonna continue to go up in value, and then nines will level off, but like eights and anything under an eight, I think it's just gonna be a dime a dozen, and so that's why I really like Neil, because he tells you like, man, these are impossible grades. I'm not
yeah,
sending these like holograms. So I bought a ton of holograms, and I
yeah.
believe the holograms are a great play. I think
And
sketch
for,
cards are a great
yeah,
play.
sketch cards. Like the pop report week to week for the hollows doesn't really change, and
It's
especially not
because,
the tens. Like if you've got
dude,
tens, you're set, man.
those are impossible tens.
You're
Like I
set.
think I bought like 30 or 40 of them, and I was like, man, none of these are gonna jam.
Yeah,
So I didn't even send them in. But I think those are incredible plays of holograms because they look so cool in the case too.
yeah,
Um, but as for the market, I think it's just really because, especially if the sports cards guys go into it crossover, they already know all the population stuff.
yeah,
So it really depends on how they think of it. Because like I was telling you before, there's going to be that people love Luka Doncic cards, but there's 20,000 of them. Whereas like I think you showed me there was a pop 7 of a like if there's like, let's say the Stanleys, how many Stanley 10s are there? Like, well, I can't even give you the number, but let's just say it's under
300
50.
something.
Yeah, 300 something. Okay, so if these sports card guys look at 300, because 300 is scarce in the sports card world. But if they cross over and they come thinking like with that mindset,
Yeah,
then the prices are going to skyrocket, because it's only going to go up as the hobby, as more collectors come into the Marvel game. But with that being said, it's once they see all these like sports card guys, they hate eights. Like 8 is considered raw to
yeah.
them. Should we be grading every card in the game?
I like the way that's worded.
Yeah. Nope. Chase, just I can't tell you what to grade on, but
You need to be
it's
very
hard to say.
careful.
It's you have to be very, very careful. You have to look at cards and try to think, would somebody else thinks that looks good? Because I think that's a big play for me. It's just like the MU Spider-Man where he's just like going up like that. I don't like that card. I'll never buy that card, but I know it's a big card,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like but that PMG of the Namor and the Black Panther where they're like in air fighting. That's the one thing I love about Marvel cards is there are some cool like they have like a lot of them,
Oh,
they like fit together and stuff.
yeah.
Those are incredible.
I love stuff like that. I think I've said that many times, but yeah, so cool.
Like aesthetically, Marvel
Oh, yeah.
cards blow sports cards out of the water because they actually get artists in to do these special drawings and stuff.
Yeah.
There are a ton of gems out there for Marvel cards. Unfortunately, people are just looking at the first set and stuff like that. 98 silver Stanley auto is Stanley. Oh,
Man, this
we want
this
to talk,
Silver Age stuff, I'm been keeping quiet, but
guys.
I don't know, man.
Sorry. Marvel autograph cards from, I think it's Rittenhouse.
Yep.
Rittenhouse Marvel autograph cards of the actors, I think, are crazy undervalued. Like
It's gonna pop big time.
you get a Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool, Rittenhouse. I think I sent one to my friend. I think it was going for about 1,500 or something. Raw. That's a ton of money, but I think those Rittenhouse autos, like Nintendo cards, Link and Zelda are very cool. Yes. I think it's anything that brings you nostalgia, I'm all for. Like right now, one of my vendor buys is Simpson stuff, just because I think
Yeah, I saw
once.
one of your comics. I was like, oh, I like that. I
Oh,
love Simpsons.
yeah, it was a video game.
Oh, it's a
But
video game. I thought it was like a magazine.
oh no, it was the very first
Oh shit.
Nintendo Simpsons video game. But there are comics out there graded by Beckett
Yeah, yeah.
that are that have a nice Matt Groening sketch on it. And man, I just think once The Simpsons, because those guys, yeah.
Black Label Slabs on Instagram.
Yeah, thank you. It's just it's nostalgic to me. Like me and my brother growing up, we watched every episode. We can quote the first 8 seasons by heart. And I just think once those actors and actresses decide to voice actors and actresses decide to shut her down, then people are gonna be like, The Simpsons. I think it's one of the biggest shows of all time. So
I think you're clever looking that.
I just think, yeah, it might be a 5-year play, it might be a 10-year play, but it's just like my Mewtwo. Like I own that video game. I played it a ton. Simpsons means a lot to me, and the cultural reference of Simpsons, I think, will go on for years and years. And I just think once Simpsons decides this is it, then that's when all the hype is going to go in.
Yeah.
Power Rangers are really good too. Yeah, Chase.
Yeah, 90s kids love the Power Rangers. Me too.
I was the Blue Ranger. I was the nerd Billy. I was the nerd Billy for sure.
I was red, I think. I don't know why.
The leader.
So
the
good.
ginger
so
too.
Good, look,
yeah,
we're at an hour now. Anything else you want to add before we?
No, thank you for having me on, man. It was a blast.
Thank you for coming on,
really guys. I love your show, man. I watch all your videos, and continue to do it, man. Because you really are helping out the Marvel community. You really are. Yeah.
Really
all right, let's do this again sometime, Nick.
100%. Thanks, Sam. For you guys,
take care, brother.
Sam is Black Label Slabs. Blacklabelslabs.com is his website. But yeah, follow him on Instagram, all that good stuff. And yeah, thanks, Chase. Thanks, Black Caddy, Sketch Card, Swami as well. I think you were in here. So yeah, appreciate it. And see you on the next one. Thank you.